With the 51st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Trevon Diggs, defensive back, Alabama.
Since Trevon Diggs was selected in the second round of the 2020 NFL Draft, he has racked up 17 interceptions. He garnered attention around the league with a staggering 11 in 2021 alone. But some still like to say that he isn't one of the league's best corners, but rather a risk-taking corner that can catch. And the biggest question is that a type of corner worth paying? We've talked about it briefly in another video. Today I want to discuss the big decision that the Cowboys have to make within the next year, surrounding Trevon Diggs and his contract situation. Along with that, the hard truth about his future in Dallas. Let's get into the video. To understand where Diggs' contract will lie, we have to look at what the other top corners around the league are being paid. I think it's important to remember with things like this that the player being paid doesn't necessarily have to be the best player at their position to reset the market. There are two contracts to look at to get a ballpark estimate of what Diggs' agent is going to be bringing to the table. In the past year, Denzel Ward signed a 5-year extension worth $100 million in total value. I'm not really big on looking at the total value of the contract, but rather the yearly salary and guaranteed money. Ward is currently clocking in at $20 million per year. Right after he signed his deal, Jair Alexander signed a 4-year, $84 million contract that is worth $21 million annually, putting him as the highest paid cornerback per year. Both of those guys are well respected at the cornerback position, and with corner being such a premium position, you don't find top corners just anywhere, and typically their primes don't last very long anyway. Last season, Diggs didn't rack up the interceptions like we saw in 2021, but he did play much better in coverage and was a part of a defense that allowed just 200 passing yards per game in 2022, good for 8th in the NFL. He improved a lot compared to what we saw in 2021. Diggs played 655 coverage snaps across all 17 games last season, over 1,100 if you count run snaps as well. Take it for what it's worth, but Pro Football Focus had it graded as his best season as a pro. In 2022, Diggs allowed 56 catches on 82 targets at a 68.3% reception percentage. I think the most important thing to remember is the days of a lockdown corner like we saw in the early 2000s is gone. The officiating and rule changes have changed how we should look at the cornerback position. The NFL made it to where offenses can thrive, and I think that should give context to how we view the Cowboys paying Diggs. Even when Jalen Ramsey was at his peak, Pro Football Focus still managed to account him for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns given up. But let's get back on track with Trevon Diggs and what I think is going to happen to him and his contract in the near future. Wait, if you haven't already, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Only 15% of you that watched my last video were subscribed. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers. Now, let's get back into the video. A lot of people seem to think that a deal with Diggs could get done during training camp this coming August. But in my personal opinion, I see this situation dragging out a lot more than it needs to. The Cowboys are notorious for waiting too long to pay guys, and I don't really see them rushing to give Diggs upwards of $21 million per year, leading to a deal not getting done before the start of the season. I think that leads them to fall back on that franchise tag after 2023. See how Diggs performs and then work out a long-term deal before the 2024 season. This is typically where the Cowboys find themselves in trouble though, because that price of $21 million per year might not be sufficient a year from now, and you could be looking at paying Diggs even more down the road. Similar to what we saw the team do with Dak Prescott. When they waited way too long to give him a deal, if they would have just paid Prescott in 2019, he wouldn't be sitting at that $40 million annual salary that he is right now. Typically, you reap the benefits of paying a guy early, which is what I think the team is going to do with CeeDee Lamb at some point this offseason, but I just can't see them doing it with Diggs. So it's sort of a gamble either way. You wait and possibly pay more, or you pay him now and risk not getting what you paid for with poor play, and then it looks even worse. Of course, the final option is you let Diggs walk after this season and you let another team reset the market with him, and then you take your comp pick and run. There are a couple of options that the Cowboys have right here, But which one do you want them to take? Make sure you comment your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers, so join the family. I love you all. Bye.
Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.